out of here.
Double down, lug nut. Welcome to the Fo0H Tribe, bitches. Yep. Here we go. Butch, holy jumping catfish, buddy. Welcome to the Fo0H Tribe, bitches, where men can be men. Where men can be men. We want you to be men right now. I mean, go piss all over the seat somewhere. I don't know. Go spill a spittoon somewhere and ask how it happened. I don't care. But we're rolling down dirty in episode 3 here with Mr. P. motherfucking Monroe. And I'm excited to introduce him to you. Paul is a 100% certified freaking redneck. A good man for all of the right reasons. Someone who I've learned a lot from and become extremely close to all through this just madness of gaming. So sit back, chill out, have a Fresca, I don't know, have a freaking Michelob Ultra, have a freaking shot of tequila. Shit, bang back some moonshine. Who gives a shit? All right, and let me introduce to you my good friend, your hopefully new good friend, the one and only Paul Monroe. Monroe, welcome to the podcast, buddy. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. Glad to be here, man. You know that. It's my life.
Hey, so, let's just dive right into it. Like, help me understand how you got into video games, because everybody's story is different. I'm dying to hear yours because I'm sure it's unique. Give me the lowdown.
Well, as being the original OG, I'm the oldest guy in Fo0H Tribe. Geritol over here to the side. But I'm the generation of Pong, man. That's where I started from. We started way back in the day on those pixelated games and worked our way up and through, and like, right. I'm sure you do. You're pretty close to my age,
Yeah.
Then we got into those 80s where all of a sudden there was these damn games, that took quarters and took tons and tons and tons of quarters.
Endless.
We stockpiled them like crazy. I don't know if you ever did this, but we would snag the bottles off people's houses and go turn them in for 5 cents. Yeah. And just, you take them up to the IGA and turn them in. You got 5 cents a bottle, man.
Never did that, but wow. I feel like I need to go back in time.
Snag quarters and stockpiled them and stood in front of those machines for hours and hours and hours, man. And when those games were popular like Galaga, you would wait for hours for your one shot. And man, if you had a bad run, you'd look at that line and go, all right, here we go. Back to the end of the line, and off we go.
I remember riding my bike to like a local convenience store that had Galaga and Centipede in it with 50 cents.
Oh, man. I'll tell you. Oh, yeah. Like IJ, they had 2 games. They only had room for 2 games up front. And it was just, they would literally tell you guys need to go stand outside until the next person. And all you see is these like little heads peering around the exit door. As people were walking out, that thing would come open. They'd swing back. You'd try to get the hell out of the way, just making sure that somebody didn't cut in line, man. Because you always had that one little bastard in there with his mom.
Yes.
In there with his mom and going, oh, it's open. I'll take it now. Of course, when he walked outside, he got his ass beat, but there's always that. So.
But that's another podcast. So obviously, I think at the, we're the same age. I got into video games because, believe it or not, I was pretty good at them. You know what I mean? And it was like a self-confidence kind of thing. Like, did you gravitate to games just as a way to, let off some steam? Did you gravitate to the games because, you were good at them and, I struggled in school. So, what was, other than playing the game, was there any other things that you did that inspired you to do them?
No, I've always done them for dogs in the background. I've always done them for just stress relief, just a way to relax and enjoy myself and make memories. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I enjoyed standing up there with my buddies bullshitting, talking about this, hey, if you do this on this game or whatever. And to me, as I got older, and I got my PlayStation 2, my PlayStation 3, 4, and 5.
Right.
It was always about making memories. And and as I got older, it was like just standing out in the garage, man, hanging out with the boys, drinking a beer, working on trucks. Same thing started happening on these games. And it was just amazing to me that I could meet someone clear across the country that I'd never met before and be able to make a relationship or a friendship with on a video game. It was to me, and I just got hooked on those memories, man. It was like, God, had a rough day. Dude, I got to go hang out with my boys and kill some people, and laugh the whole time,
Virtually, right? Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so do you remember when? I mean, obviously, we got introduced. I think it was through Deuce. Do you recall that?
Yeah, I don't remember how I originally. Obviously, I was playing with randoms at the time, but I had been in originally. I had been in some previous clans. I had been like my first one was Ball and Chain, which was a group of married men. So obviously, we played. I played with them for a while, but that like anything with married people, it broke up because life. Life happens.
I mean,
They got away
we're
from it.
working, right?
From then, I jumped into another clan of guys that I had met randomly. Some of the guys in Ball and Chain and I ran into a group called Green Street Elite (GSE). You've met Chili. He's jumped into our
yeah.
Really talented fellow, real hell of a player. So we started playing with them, and they were a lot younger than the guys I had previously played with, and they were a lot of fun, very talented. They were just off the charts good, and I was just this average player that they let me come along and have fun with. And then they kind of just went their own way. And that's when I met up with, I think it was Deuce, and started playing with you guys and just made a connection. I was like, I'm going to friend these guys. And we started playing. I think that's how it played out.
Yeah. Deuce seems to recall that, I met him, and then that apparently we met Thor, and then the three of us were playing, and you came in, and we've talked about this on Deuce's podcast where you were the you were the guy who was behind the pushers, like the the support guys, the revive guys. And
yeah, I'm a team player. I mean, I've never been. I could give a fuck less about kill death.
Right,
I could give a fuck less about my win loss. I could care less whether I get all the skins for all the guns. I don't fucking care. I don't. I find a gun. As you know, you've played with me for years. The M13 is my gun. It's been my gun up until just recently, where I just kicked over to the MCW, which is just like the M13.
Like 100%. I think it's just an upgraded version, right? Yeah.
I do it to play. I don't care about all the accolades. That doesn't mean shit to me, but I'm a team player. I like the wins. Don't get me wrong. I hate the losses. My wife always makes the claim that I'm very, very, sports oriented, very, you got to win.
Right.
Try to be better about that. But other than that, I just do it to stress relief. I do it to just calm down from a long day and, be able to say hello to my friends.
Oxide to Disciple 2. What's your status? Over.
Got a bunch of slap-jawed faggots around here. This stuff will make you a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus. Just like me.
Oxide, we ran into a sandstorm out here. We're taking shelter in a small cave until it clears up. Over.
Exactly, and that's kind of what it's sort of evolved and turned into. And I know you remember the day when it was me, you, Deuce, and I don't even think Thor made it, but I had called you guys. I was like at a Lowe's grocery store, and I was like, I really don't know what's happening here, and I don't really care to know, but I think we just need to do something. And then, Deuce, we came up with the name, and then we just wanted to play with, like-minded people. And I think at the time, we had that. We got introduced to Don, who's, on the podcast. We got introduced to Sleepy and Boston, a few of these other guys. Like, what is it, in your opinion, that, compels guys like us, other than being passionate and other than being, want to be around other dudes and playing video games, that's compelling folks like in our generation to do this shit?
That's a great question. For me, there's a multitude of different reasons why we do this. For me, it's a release, and it's a bonding. You're bonding with other guys that you play with. It gives you an ability to meet them, talk with them, learn something about them, and hopefully connect. And I think for men, connecting sometimes can be hard from Gen X guys. We've always been taught, bottle it up, get your ass to work, take care of your family, come home,
take it out on your wife,
shit, shower, and shave, and wake up in the morning and do it all over again.
Right.
And being able to bond with other guys and hang out with it without, because most of the time in my world when I grew up, it was the weekends. You did that bonding on the weekend during the week. It was straight. This gives guys the ability to bond during the week. without having to get in the car, drive over to your buddy's garage or drive over to your buddy's house. You can just pop on a game and get into a game, just talk a little shit, press a few buttons and do the same male bonding that happens in garages back in the Gen X days of the 80s and 90s.
love it.
Right on a video game without ever leaving your house. Now I still do the bonding in the garage because I'm a junkie for square body trucks.
Yeah.
But during the week when you're having a rough day, it's kind of hard to get away and go hang out in the garage till 3 a.m. But it ain't so hard to get home and do your thing and then hop on the game for an hour or two just to hang out.
I couldn't agree with you more. And I don't think I even recognized what was happening while we were going through it, which was, I was going through a challenging time. I was isolating, didn't want to, leave my place. And I just wanted to be left alone. And so, I spent, countless hours online with you guys and we developed through the game, sort of like, I wouldn't, I don't know what I would call it, like just a set of circumstances that we all just sort of agreed that we would do. And it worked and we won and we bonded and we busted other people's balls and, we laughed and, Don said something the other day that I thought was great was like just logging in and knowing that you're there, like the presence of just knowing that you're there is enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And, not having to be anything other than where I was at that moment was incredibly refreshing. And I think that dynamic hasn't been considered or isn't being considered as something that's really important and relevant, especially to the Gen Xers and even the older millennials that refuse to talk about what might or might not be going on in their life.
Yeah, agreed. It really is a change of venue for Gen Xers, and a lot of people are still like, "Oh, gaming, that's just stupid. It doesn't make sense." But it's a new avenue. We talk about guys because that's all we are. We're Gen X guys. I mean, the majority of our Gen X guys, but it's also becoming a forum for women and kids who are shy and all that can get on and be able to talk to people that you don't have to see face to face. You're comfortable in the fact that you can talk to them about anything and everything, and not have to worry about being judged too much. Now, granted, you join Fo0H Tribe, you're going to get get judged.
You're going to get judged. You got to have some thick skin. I mean, if you're not comfortable, turning wrenches with your boys who are 6 beers deep and angry, then you're not going to do well. But we've got all kinds here. I mean, it was interesting. I was talking with Matt M the other day, and I was telling her kind of what we were doing here, and despite the fact that she's a female, right? Like she shared an experience with me that was no different than what we've been talking about, which is, she was able to connect with people. They became close. They became friends. I think she even referenced that someone bought the game for her when she couldn't afford it. Like we've kind of gone out of our way with a couple different people who've had kids or whatever and send them diapers or whatever. Yeah. And, like, I don't just think that in the real world, we would just do that with random people, No. And the game, correct me if I'm wrong, but the game compels us to want to know more about the people that we play with. Right.
It's in a weird dynamic. It forces us to work together with strangers.
Totally.
People you don't know. You have to work as a team if you want victory. And that in that effort, you kind of want, trust me, as well as I do, playing with randoms, the odds of winning are 0 and none, higher on 0 than none.
Correct.
And because there's no camaraderie there. But I've gotten into lobbies with randoms, you guys included, when I first started playing, and you felt this, like there was this matriculation towards understanding each other without even knowing each other. There was a common bond there and understanding that you're working together with these guys and you're getting somewhere. And that's where I think all this came from. I think that's where Fo0H Tribe came from. I think that's how we all got together, is that real quick, within a match or two, you knew these guys understand me and understand how we play and how we do things. And you just kind of hooked with them. And that's what I see these games doing for a lot of people.
I agree. And, with this social media presence, TikTokers, individual people on Twitch streaming, playing their games, and this idea that, you know, they are or they aren't cheating, right? It's more about the stories about the people who get caught cheating, and then you kind of never hear from them again. Yeah. You know, our mantra has always been, you know, this is about us, right? And it's incredible to hear from the likes of like Deadly, like, I didn't know how to play with people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So when he would run into a building that was all the way across the map and freaking eviscerate 5 dudes, but the 6th one shows up and kills him, and he gets mad because we're not following him. It took me or someone else to be like, fucking Deadly, did you tell anyone you fucking left?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And, you know, I remember yelling at him about it and being like, motherfucker, you know, like, what are you doing? And he confessed. He's like, I just didn't know. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so when you are promoting, this isn't really about you and your KD and how many kills you got and all that stuff. It's about us getting in there, and through a very low percentage, because there's so much treating, like, win with pride. Like, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, winning with your buddies. I mean, our Who's in the Chopper was one of the greatest things that exploded from Fo0H Tribe, is the fact that you were
so glad you brought that up.
Celebrating a team win and having fun doing it. And I think that, to me, really shows. And I think as we've gone through numerous people who have played with, and you're like, yeah, this guy just doesn't get it.
Right.
It doesn't understand it, or this gal doesn't get it. You know, understanding basically at the end of the game of Who's in the Chopper, with us celebrating with funny anecdotes about how we got into that, you know, what we were doing in the chopper. I just shows the camaraderie that we have during the game. And now, after knowing you guys for so many years, the camaraderie we have outside of the game, it really brings it all together.
Oxide to Disciple 2, what's your status? Over.
Who's in the chopper?
Who's in the chopper?
We got Huge Hog dragging his hog. Every zombie looking around, looking fierce. We got Deadly Rogue, a rogue deadly son of a gun, and Daddy Thanos staring at the nude bitches on the beach! Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Nate, 919 with the black mask. We got P-Money 901 with the part, looking hot. Hog staring at his freaking glasses, not knowing what he's doing, and Big Country staring at the naked women on the beach! Oh!
Man, fucking right. I like that shit, man.
Oxide, we ran into a sandstorm out here. We're taking shelter in a small cave until it clears up. Over.
It really does. And it's so funny that you bring that up, because prior to us hitting the record button, I was telling you, and I'm going to do it in this episode as well, that I was injecting different TikTok content into the podcast to sort of, you know, highlight, you know, the different people that we're talking to. And as I was going through the editing process with all these other, you know, people that we've got on episodes, I was like, I've got so many Who's in the Choppers that, like, I didn't know how to add it, and now I do, which is great, because to your point, it's just, it was, our Who's in the Chopper was who can spit it out, right? Who can not spit it out? Who can, you know, are you going to earn your spurs here? And I remember doing it with, you know, even some younger guys that we were playing with. They had no idea what to do. And it was our way of just making fun of you for not being able to do it. And it was such a great way to bond and connect with people that I'm going to inject countless ones in here.
Oh yeah. Well, another thing too that I always thought was fun was, especially on Rebirth, when we would have 2 guys and we had a 4-man team, and we're going Hog's house, and these guys are going, what are you doing? We're going to Hog's house. You know, we knew as Fo0H Tribe members, we knew what that meant.
Oxide to Disciple 2, what's your status? Over.
Hog's house?
Yep.
Where are you going?
We call this place Hog's House over here. It's by Nova.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Hog's house?
there's no dog.
I ain't never heard that.
How many people have?
Cricket.
Don't ask it. Yeah, don't ask. I mean, just know it's gonna be around now, because I'm calling that every fucking game.
Hog's house.
Hey,
Hey.
that's what it is now.
Oxide, we ran into a sandstorm out here. We're taking shelter in a small cave until it clears up, over.
And to them, it was like, really? And I can't tell you, I know that doing that, there were people that went to other games with randoms. We're going to Hog's house, and they're going, what in the fuck are you talking about?
Totally. Or like even like Thick was saying the other day, like we would dive into Grandma's house, and I just immediately started laughing because like I don't know how that became Grandma's house.
Yeah, it just did.
It just did.
Yep.
And through these interactions where all of us are committed to what we want to do, like this has evolved, right? Like it's just I'm baffled that there's not a lot of people talking about it, and I realize that I don't need to be baffled anymore because nobody wants to talk about the team. They want to talk about their accolades, right? They want to talk about what they've done and their KD and how many people that they've killed and promote. I don't give a shit.
No,
I want to be surrounded by like-minded men on the game and even outside of the game. Yeah. And what happens beyond outside of the game is that I get to know you on a personal level, and through that camaraderie and through that trust, right, I might open up and share things that are happening with me that I never knew you might have gone through. And then through your shared experience, you can help me understand things that I might not have even considered or thought of before. You know what I mean? It's that am I right?
Oh, absolutely. The memories and the stories. I mean, you learn about guys you're playing with, and you sit back, like you said, you started I think you were the first one to start asking, hey, what do you do?
Yeah.
And at that point, if you think back, there was hesitation by all of us. We were all like, do I share this with someone I don't know? Do I tell them something personal about myself, or do I just keep this on this? This is my name and that's it, and that's all you're going to get to know about me. And by opening up like that, especially for Gen X guys, I think it opened a whole new door for all those guys to let loose of some of the pent up energies and stuff that we were taught for years and years and years to bottle up.
Yeah.
Now we're able to go out and help someone that we just met, over a period of time on a game, that now our shared experiences, we can learn from each other that, maybe this guy is also going through a hard divorce, or maybe this guy's going through the loss of a loved one, or this guy's lost his job. And, I've been down that road. Maybe I can give him some advice.
Totally.
And you're not only in your own personal world every day, you're now helping people you've never met across the country. And I think it brings us closer together. I think it gives everybody the ability to realize that they're not alone in this world. No matter how much they think they are. A shared memory with a total stranger about a stupid game on a stupid TV can give that person who thought this is it, after they turn this game off, I'm ending it all, for them to go, God, that was fun. I need to come back tomorrow. And not even realizing, by laughing with them, having fun with them, doing a little who's in the chopper, or doing a little let's go to Hog's house, or getting a kill with them, you may have given them another day.
Right.
Or they wake up tomorrow going, you know what, fuck this divorce. I got this. That dude went through it. I can do it. Just those little memories or those little shared experiences, you may have changed someone's life. And to me, that's the best part.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, who would have thought that hopping on a game, riddled with cheaters and hackers, right, where I'm going to meet guys that I've never met and bond with on the game, to then further have an opportunity to learn more about them personally, and then, my God, be able to help them in the real life outside of the game in any capacity whatsoever. Mm-hmm. I mean, it could be as simple as sending somebody a headset, because selfishly, I play with them and their headset is like, and I can't hear anything that's going on. For me, sending a $40 headset so that I can enjoy playing the game for you is a no-brainer. But for someone who's not used to that kind of like,
Just a simple act of kindness.
Simple act of kindness is going to be like, who in the hell is this guy? And I'm not doing it for accolades. I'm doing it for myself because I want to be able to play the game without being interrupted and having to deal with, a hurricane gale force winds going on in the background. But
or vacuum cleaner.
Or vacuum cleaners, I don't know. Do you have any content of the vacuum in the background?
No, I don't have anything.
I really do think we need to get her to do like a podcast with us where she can just kind of do like a full scale vacuum review. Like, is this good? Like, can we do that?
No, I could ask her. I don't know if she'll do it.
No, I think she would.
But I will tell you this: that woman is my rock. I never come home to a dirty house, and when she cleans, when we first got together, to go off a little tangent.
Yeah, do it, please.
When you get with someone, you learn their ins and outs, their goods and bads, and you deal with it. Well, she was always when she starts cleaning, she never stops. She doesn't stop till it's done. That's her OCD kicking in.
I get it.
Well, she would always do the master bedroom last when we first got together, and so I'd have to sit up and wait and listen. Well, I said from here on out, you got to do the master bedroom first.
Right.
And I said, then I can go to bed. It don't matter. She goes, you're not going to sleep with the vacuum cleaner on. I can snore through anything. My worry is there's going to be a tornado coming, and I'm used to everything. It's just going to roll right on by me, pick me up, and throw me somewhere because I'm like. But I love her to death. She's the best.
And I think that's an interesting point, to bring up because, I think a lot of the guys that get online and do exactly what they're talking about is because they're dealing with someone, and then I'll raise my hand, that is constantly, badgering and nagging them and not giving them the space and time that they need to go to their man cave and chill out. You know what I mean? Like, I see that so often and in so many different circumstances that, like, I wouldn't have known any different unless I had gone through what I had gone through. But, like, some guys get on the video game to get away from dynamics that they just either don't want to deal with or don't know how to deal with. Right. And how many TikTok videos have you seen where a wife walks into a guy's, man cave and turns off their fucking Xbox right in front of them? I mean, it's just, it's sad.
It is. In understanding human nature and understanding the person you're with, there's got to be a lot of give and take. I mean, a lot. And I mean, you have to be with the right person to be able to pull that off. People look at me and go, "Oh, you're a big old redneck." I am the biggest redneck, and I take pride in that. I've never hidden from that.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, when my wife says, "Let's go antique shopping," I'm all in.
Right.
We're going to check shit out. We're going to go look at stuff. I'll go shopping with her. I will not go shopping with her on Black Friday. Fuck that. Those people are crazy.
They're fucking bananas.
I got beat up by an old lady one time who wanted light bulbs, so I don't go no more. Create another story for another time.
No, that's
But there's so much give and take with her and I that we just know. She has her shows that she absolutely loves. I have my sports. I have my gaming. I literally got to go, hey, we got but like a couple nights ago, we sat and watched some great movies together just to spend time together. That's why I don't let one thing overwhelm me personally, to take, my time away from my wife. She's important to me. She's my world. We give and take very well. And I see so many guys that are with the wrong people for the wrong reasons.
Right.
And like you said, you see the TikToks, you see, these videos of people screaming at each other, people throwing shit out of their houses. Hey, this isn't my first marriage. This is my second.
Right.
And I learned so much about myself because I was that person.
Right.
That first time, I didn't understand it all. I didn't understand what it meant to be married, what it took to be in a relationship all in.
Right.
And that's, and part of that. And I think part of gaming and being able to interact and be able to share emotions is part of being a better man for your wife, because we're taught to keep emotions bottled up. We get to a point where we don't say anything. We don't do anything. We become these little fucking shells of this is all I'm allowed to do. This is all I can do with my life. And that's wrong. And in that, you become something that your wife or your girlfriend doesn't want. And that's what I learned in my first marriage. I became true to myself. I am who I am. I'm not going to change or divert from my path of this is B Monroe 86. My wife understands that, but I don't try to change her either. I accept exactly who she is. I accept those 3 a.m. vacuum cleanings. I accept the I love yous every hour of the day. And that's great because you just don't realize how wonderful it is when you don't have it. Like
Totally.
I know exactly when she's going to call and when she's, and you don't get it. And you're like, wait a minute, where's that call? Where's that?
Right.
I love you, and you're like, is something wrong? But you get so invested in a relationship because you're giving your all to it. And I think a lot of Gen X guys aren't able to do that because they were taught to be bottled up.
I agree. And I think a lot of Gen X guys, myself included, get married because they think that they need to, and they may not know. They hope, right? They roll the dice that they get a quote unquote traditional woman who's going to honor them and respect them and do all the things that we watched, our parents do, both good and bad, and be okay with that. And it just doesn't happen in today's world. I mean, I think I saw a TikTok video where some crazy psycho girl was like, "I'm not going to go out on a date until I get their bank statement."
When I was single, when I had just gotten divorced and I was kind of finding my way and realizing exactly where I was headed. I had a girl walk up to me and she goes, "Buy me a drink." I go, "Buy your own fucking drink. If you think you're going to get to go home with me?" I go, "If I got to buy you a drink to get to go home with you, go fuck yourself." I don't care.
Totally, totally. And, I just think that I didn't realize, and probably still don't, that there is an huge audience of men who are doing what we have done and not collaborating with people and not building, relationships because they either don't know how, or they don't have time for it, or they're just trying to get in an hour on the game before their wife nags them about something stupid, or like they just aren't getting it. And then it turns into this churning and this grind and this pain of having to deal with whatever it is that we think that we need to go through in order to be men, and it's bullshit.
Yeah, again, we've gone away from gaming, but that gaming part of it, that ability to open your emotions up and your to vent and to get rid of stuff that guys in the Gen X world carry all the time, makes my life easier with my wife, because it's like, I can tell you for a fact, I can call her up on the phone and say, "I got to get rid of this," and she'll like go, and I just unload, and she's like, "You done?" I go, "Yep." She goes, "Okay, love you, bye, done."
That's awesome.
To find a woman like that
is a unicorn.
They're there. But you have to know how to be true to yourself. If you can't be true to yourself, how can you be true to someone else? And that is what I learned from my first divorce, was being true. I became something that my wife wanted me to be, and then she didn't want me no more.
Right. But you don't realize you're taking you either are the hostage or you're hostage taken.
Yes.
Right.
And when you become true to yourself and you stay that way, you'll be surprised at what you see come towards you that will find you, because there are people out there searching for exactly the same things. And that's part of that, going back to the game. That's kind of, when you play that game, you're looking for like-minded people, like-minded thoughts, like-minded ways to play the game. And even though you're playing it for fun, you're learning to seek out those things. Because how many times you played with Randy who's like, "Fuck this, I'm getting out of this lobby, I'm finding something else."
Right. 100 times.
Now in real life, how does that apply? Think that through. How does that apply? You're in a terrible relationship and you're like, "Oh, I'm just going to stick it out." Why?
Right.
Get out.
Yeah.
Reset. It's just like the game. I mean, and I think it helps teach Gen X guys this. Reset your life. If you can't look in the mirror and you're not happy, you're fucked. Your life is fucked. There's not a woman, not a man, not a child, nothing going to make you happy, because you're looking in the mirror and you're unhappy.
Totally.
When I look in the mirror, I'm just tired.
Me too. Like fucking really tired. Right?
Well, I'm happy. I can't tell you how fucking happy I am in my marriage. It's people look at me and go, no, it can't be that good. Oh, it's not. When I say I'm happy, doesn't mean we don't argue.
Yeah.
We don't have our ups. We don't have our downs. But I'm happy with her. I tell you, and you can ask her the same thing. She says exactly the same. Happiness, finding that happiness. And I think part of that for Gen Xers is that ability to, like I just said, pop in and out of games. Fuck it. I'm unhappy. Start using that in real life. Seriously.
I know it's a great dynamic. I mean, it's well said.
And I think that's what, and if you realize, Hug, if you go back and look at the people we play with, there's a lot in common there. A lot. And you subconsciously are seeking out people that are similar to you. You apply that in real life, you'll find the right woman because you'll only seek out exactly what is equal to you.
Buddy,
words to live by.
I love it, dude. I freaking love it.
So.
Well, look, I think we got enough, and why don't we do what we are supposed to do? I think in the intro I'll add where men are men, but like I think we got to cut it off with the way that we always do when we say goodbye to the boys.
Get the fuck
out of here. We'll see you on the next one. Bye now.
See you, brother.
Yeah, we went there. We just went for it. I mean, I just love hearing, wonderful, positive stories about finding the right people. It kind of confirms for me that, there is a possibility for the same thing as me out there. But look, we appreciate you more than you know. Thanks for listening to the podcast. If you want to learn more about who we are, kind of what we're all about, check us out at thefo0tribe.com. That's the F-O, the number 0H tribe.com. We're going to have some information about who we are, kind of some of the players that are in here with us. Sign up for our newsletter, or if you feel compelled to, want to, play with us for a little bit or whatnot, fill out some contact information. There'll be everything there on the website. You can also check us out at TikTok at the Fo0Tribe, spelled the same way as .com. We got some content on there, about 3 years worth of videos, just pure madness and insanity. And then you can check us out at YouTube as well, the Fo0Tribe. In the meantime, stick around. We got more great content coming to you. We appreciate you so much. And do me one other thing before we go. Just get the fuck out of here.